Hello internet, what's up my peeps? I need to fix a couple of things on my robomower Magoo Jr. Most importantly, the date and time disappears every time he powers down, which he does as soon as he can't get back into the area defined by the guide wire. And I thought I'd do a couple of other things, namely clean up a bit and update the firmware. So let's see if we can't get that done, shall we? So let's start by dissecting him. I'm not really sure how to take him apart. I haven't done that before. But let's start with these 4 bolts. These are what's holding his shell to his frame, if you wish. This is at least 3 years worth of dirt and grass. So we'll go over this with just a brush and a vacuum cleaner before we take anything else apart. Okay, let's see if we can't get this one apart. It seems like it kind of sorta wants to come apart. There could absolutely be more screws, but is it something? Yeah, it could be this. Is this good or bad? I'm not really sure. Yeah. There are screws to get this off. Yeah. Okay, excellent. Being hay fever is a really bad gig when you're dealing with a robomower or doing maintenance on a robomower. I mean, we could look in the manual, but that's not half as fun as taking things apart and see what happened. I'm doing my best to keep a mental record of which screw goes where. Aha! I mean, you don't need to do this type of maintenance every year. Or maybe you do. I've only had this one for 3 years. Well, of course we can't really remove this because there's an engine in here. Or a motor, sorry, not an engine. So yeah, there's a wire here. How is this one? Hold on. Still no? Feels like it's somewhere in this area or this region where it doesn't want to come loose. I think I figured it out. This is a clip on this retainer or clip that's keeping this pin in, which prevent me from taking this off. So I'm thinking / hoping that I should be able to just squeeze this off and then I'll be able to remove the pin. Now I'm just rotating it. I need to be more cleverer than that. SMRT. I am so smart. SMRT. I mean SMART. I should use a flush cut, but maybe this one has enough. Yeah, there we go. Now we should be able to just, yeah, there we go. And this is spring loaded, of course. There we go. Ta-da! Oh, it's spring loaded against those. Nice. Trixie little hobbitses. Way down there. It's down there. So let's just get in here and bugger out of here. stay in there then. Never mind. Now it should just... Oh, there we go. It's quite a few wires in there. Are you attached in there or just stuck in there? I think you're attached. Okay, I guess you should be... Oh yeah, there were screws there, right. This is going swimmingly. Try not to lose it. Oh, off we go, off we go. Okay, let's turn it back over, shall we? Or is it something? Oh, wonderful. It's just wonderful. There we go. Slowly but surely. So these... I don't really want to cut any zip ties, but in this case I have absolutely no option. This one has to go. This is another one you can't really put back. The wrong combination. They're all labeled, so that's really nice. That should be it, right? No, there's one more. There's one more. Rain, yeah. Now, please, for the love of... Yay! Excellent. This has kind of escalated. All I wanted to do was to fix whatever battery it was that kept time and date. But in for a penny, in for a pound, right? So again, let's see what we can do to get this out. If we remove this, this entire assembly should be able to come free. These can stay. This one needs to be taken care of. That's a black and that's a white, and these shouldn't really be compatible, right? No, there's a male and a female and two completely different types of connections. I don't really want to place it on its motherboard. I have this old bed sheet and I'm going to place it on. Yeah, there we go. I could probably take this apart even more, but I don't think I have to. I mean, this is obviously exposed to weather and wind. Oh, so I think I'm just gonna wash this as if. Wash this as if. Oh my lord. Wash this as is. Lukewarm, mild, soapy water with a bit of maybe washing deterrent. Washing deterrent. Washing detergent there. I might just disconnect the buzzer while I'm at it, because let's face it, who listens to this anyhow? It beeps whenever it bumps into anything. It does that quite frequently, to be honest, so there's really nothing that screams battery. Trapped, lift, door. I guess we'll unscrew this and see where that takes us. Yeah, absolutely nothing on this side, which I kind of should have guessed. Interesting. Dip switches. Favorite type of dip. I need to do some internet research to figure out why it's losing date and time whenever it shuts off. I thought it was the battery, but there might not even be a battery here. Let's check what's behind door number 2 then. Doesn't seem to be a battery. Future Martin here. This is in fact the battery. I decided to contact the support despite my mower being out of warranty, and they got back within an hour and told me that yeah, the battery is under this silicone blob. Had I been a bit more courageous, a bit more curious, a bit more adventurous, I could have changed it there and then, I suppose, instead of having to risk Magoo Jr.'s life by opening him up again. But alas, that is my burden to bear. Now, let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Disconnecting the buzzer though. There we go. Is this one? Along here perhaps? Yeah, I think it was. Now that I think about it. Put that one back where it belongs. We break the circuit board. So. There we go. Having gone over this module, I would say that there's nothing in here that would rust. I mean, these are most likely stainless, or they would have rusted out by now. These are exposed to the weather, and this is stainless, and this should be stainless. This is plastic. This is, not really sure what those are. Maybe they're for the bump. Never mind. Those are encapsulated in epoxy or something or other. So I'm actually just gonna lower this entire unit into this soapy, warm-ish water, like so, and let it soak overnight. Okay, day 2. Let's see what we have. Maybe I should try and build that ultrasonic cleaner again. That would have been helpful in this case. So I'm gonna let this soak a bit more, and instead we'll head on out and try and wash the other body parts. No, that sounded wrong. The other parts of the RoboMower body. No body parts here. YouTube, Google, please. Okay, with that out of the way, let's transfer this to a much bigger container. Yeah, excellent. And I'm not that afraid to be a bit rough on these outer parts. And again, I'm wearing glasses, so I'm hoping I won't get any of this in my eyes. Here though, we might be a bit more careful with our brushing. And again, they don't need to be brand spanking clean. We just want to get the most of the garbage out of here. This is as good as it gets, I think. I'm gonna go inside and rinse this off in the sink. Be right back. This one has been drying after I rinsed it off, and sure, there are still some residue left in it, but it's much better than it was before, and this is absolutely good enough. Okay, we'll turn it over. I guess it was all the way in. We still have the old mark from the previous zip tie, so we're just going to reuse that. Yeah, that's good. Not really sure how they were packed in here, but this is what we're getting. I am half tempted to disable the rain sensor as well, because it can be a pain in the butt. But it's there for a reason, so I'm going to put that back. The only thing I'm going to leave disconnected is the buzzer. Yeah, this gasket is really loose. Probably should replace that, but instead I'm just going to make sure it ends up properly within this cavity here. Yeah, as you can see, it's way too big. Wonder why. How would it deform like that? That should be good enough. Oh, yeah. Very much like to remove this entire... now it looks like we can actually wash this one. I didn't want to do it until I had everything screwed back due to this being containing all the electronics. But yeah, no. I'm gonna leave it like this and wash it as a complete unit. It's too time consuming to take everything apart just to wash it. How do we remove you from... Do we just simply unscrew you? Yeah, okay. Easy as pie. So it turns out it could be helpful installing this one first. I'm seated this grommet. Now I can just place this on top, attach all the screws, and then this one should be able to just screw on top of that. But for now, let's start by connecting all of these back up, shall we? It could be this grommet that's sort of acting. Oh, it's this one, I think. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's on tight. Let's see how far we can get this one in here. This should just screw on. Are these special? Because there is a key here that I'm certain needs to be keyed to this, but that wouldn't work because you do twist this one after all. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Of course, it's key. It's for preventing you to lower this down to, I guess, into the ground and raising it up into the actual mower. So this needs to be set. This stops here, I would imagine. There's a small spring steel here. There was something bothering me with this cable because I knew I had to unscrew something to get it loose, but there was nowhere to fasten it in the chassis. Well, it turns out I went back and checked my footage. This is where I'm supposed to fasten it. It didn't feel right to leave out this more or less pristine screw with a washer. It had to go somewhere, so yeah, that's more like it. Now let's button this up. Unless I actually take everything apart and remove the electronics from this piece of the body, I will never be able to get this cleaned out properly. Take this outside and use some mild soapy water in a spray bottle and see if we can't get this sort of kinda cleaned up. It's not perfect, but it's very much good enough. I'm not sure if I put this one on before this one afterwards. I don't think it matters. And I need to find a way to keep this in place. I think I'll start without it, because I'm pretty sure I don't have any of those clip rings lying around. No. But it has to be this way. Yeah, okay. There we go. In place as well. Yeah, that has to be correct. I think we're going to put this one in first, simply because it should be easier putting this in before I put the lid on, or the latch on. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. That seems more appropriate. Okie dokie. Okay, I think it's in there good enough without having to put the retainer clip in. Maybe we'll give it a tiny bit of lubrication, because it is rotating in here, the actual pin. So let's just give it a tiny bit of lubrication. That probably didn't do anything, but... Okay, let's get the outermost shell on. Needs paint job, but I won't do that, because that will probably be a waste of paint. It will just get dinged up again. So this one goes like this. Something like that. So I'm thinking I want to attach the outer shell to the inner body before I attach this. It's flimsy enough as it is. Okay, so now I just want to take this outside and clean this up as good as possible using just, again, soapy water in a spray bottle and a brush. It would be a shame to call this clean, but it's absolutely clean enough for us to glue it back together. These are keys. These are keyed as well. So I just want to get rid of the water here, so I mean, in theory, it shouldn't be a problem if there's a tiny bit of water in the battery compartment, but the USB port is below this lid as well, so I don't want to risk dripping any water into that. Then we need to insert the USB. Okay, moment of truth. Firmware upgrade. Oh, come on. Okay, yeah, sure. Is that it? Maybe we need to do this outside. Yeah, there's something wrong. Yeah, I think I figured it out. I renamed the file in order to find it in my downloads folder, and I'm pretty sure this guy is expecting a specific file name when looking for a firmware update. It's just reacting to a USB stick in the USB port, and when it can't find a firmware, it just defaults to the standard behavior. So fingers crossed, this will work better. Yeah. This might have just worked inside as well. It should work without being within the guide wire confines. Remove USB key to continue. Rebooting. Whoa, sorry friend. 525, 180320, good. So all we're going to do now is just put the battery compartment lid back on. We should be good to go. And you can tell, he's really eager to get back to it. Shivers with anticipation. I spoke too soon. This pin is moving far too easily. It's dislodged itself twice now in just me opening this for a... So what I did was I took an ordinary washer and just snipped out a section using side cutters. And I would never do this with something important or critical, but for this, a pin that keeps the lid in place, it works well enough because it's not meant to perform that type of duties. Stay. I just wanna mow my lawn, there we go. So yeah, sorry about that. I don't think you should lube the pin because obviously this is what happens. And there you have it. The problem with the date and time still persists for some reason, and I can't find a solution to it online. I might contact the support, I might not. Anyhow, I got the firmware updated and cleaned up as good as I could, so I'm happy with the end result. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, all of that. If you found this video interesting, entertaining, useful, or perhaps all of the above. Please stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.